Hey guys, so today I wanted to make a video about how to become vegan or, how to transition to becoming vegan. So I wasn't, um, about maybe a year and a half ago, I became vegetarian, and some people are able just to, go full blown, give up everything right away and just do it. And for me, though, it was hard to do that. So I transitioned, over a period of time. So at first, I did things like giving up red meat. I gave up all red meat. I wasn't having anything like that. Then I started giving up the chicken. For me, I feel like, to go vegetarian, the hardest part was to give up fish and shellfish and stuff. As you could see, I'll turn the camera a little bit. That's something I used to love was fishing, but I used to love fishing and crabbing, but I realized how cruel it was and how unjust it was, and how it's not very ethical. And I wanted to get rid of that. So slowly I gave that up. Um, it's not really that hard. I feel like the best way to start transitioning and the best way to become vegetarian is to write down your goals. So have a goal, I'm going to give up meat on this day, or I'm going to give up chicken on this day, and work towards that goal, and think about it, and think about also like the lives you're saving, because at the end of the day, taking part in something that, isn't ethical and that's not humane in any way, having something else die just so you can eat isn't fair. Now, to go vegan, for me, that was definitely harder than going vegetarian. So, really, I never even thought I was going to go vegan. But once I was doing a paper for a speech class, and after really researching it and looking into it and everything, I realized that, even though the animal's not specifically dying because you're having milk or eggs, it's, you know, the animal's being tortured. It's in a it's in an area filled with, other animals. It has no room to even live. It's not like what you think it is. I always thought, oh, the cow is just, he's in the pasture, and then, farmer comes and milks him kindly. It's not like that. The cows are like, for a cow to produce milk, it has to be pregnant or just recently, had the calf. The calf's taken away from the cow, and then, it's like they're hooked up to machines. So basically, the cows are raped. They're left like perpetually pregnant so that they keep producing milk. And as far as eggs, egg laying hens, you know, if if you guys wanna look that up, you could look that up. There's all types of resources on like PETA about it, but the chickens are crammed into cages, and it's just like ridiculous. They're they're basically forced into cages that are very, very small, and once their profitability isn't well, they're sent to slaughter too. Just like, the milking cow. Once they can't produce enough milk to where, the dairy farmer, whatever, the dairy conglomerate thinks that they're not making enough money, that cow's going to slaughter, so it's going to die. So, really, not to mention, the cruelty that's involved in all those industries, but at the end of the day, all those animals are sent to slaughter. So if you're vegetarian, it you're not really, you may think you're saving something, but you're really not. So getting back on track. For me, probably the hardest thing, I never really enjoyed eggs. I would have eggs, if it was in something, but I kind of always knew what eggs were. Essentially, what is an egg? It's, the chicken's, uh, it's like the period of the chicken. Would you eat a human's period? I don't know. Would you? I wouldn't. Definitely not. But, I guess others may, but who knows? But, you think about that. That wasn't very hard. For me, it was giving up milk and products that had milk in it. I always loved like ice cream and stuff, so trying to find things that were similar to that. Luckily, there are a lot of products. They make a lot of vegan ice creams. There's I believe it's Arctic Zero. They make like almond milk based and coconut milk based ice creams. They're really good. That was a great thing for me to have for transitioning. And really, once I gave that up, then I was vegan. You know, it was just trying to like give up the milk. But again, to transition from that, like let's say you went from, you know, whatever, eating meat and all that stuff, transition slowly if that's what you have to do. If you can go all out and just give up anything, that's great too, you know, because you don't want to be eating this stuff. But set goals for yourself and work towards them. You don't have to say, "Oh, I'm going to give it all up today," because I understand that could be very hard, you know? It's realistic. You have to think realistically. It's not easy, but I think your ultimate goal should be to go vegan because you're saving so many lives, you're saving the animals, you're doing a great thing for the planet, and you know, you're having a more sustainable way of living. When you're eating, you know, let's say right now I'm like more towards like the Raw Till 4 program that like Dorian Ryder and Freely created. I'm really loving that. I'll wake up, I may have, I don't know, maybe I'll have like between 8 and 12 bananas. I'll have in a smoothie. And then this afternoon for lunchtime, I had about 10 mangoes. And then for dinner, I'll make like a cooked vegan meal. So I might have like, you know, a huge pot of rice, and I'll have, you know, like tofu, or there's all type, there's an endless array of things. But I think the main thing is when you're trying to become vegan, don't don't feel like let down. I I think at first when I was trying to go vegan, I had read the 80-10-10 book, and like for me at least, trying to go like fully raw. Yes, raw fruit is like the optimal food, but it's even that it's not sustainable. If if you don't have, you know, ripe fruit, what are you supposed to do? Starve? That that doesn't make sense. You know, you want to be able to eat. The high carb vegan thing is great. You know, you have an endless array of options, but it's you could have, you know, for cooked vegan things, rice, pasta. That's like the big things for me. And then, you know, you can have different like vegan style sauces. You could also make mashed potatoes. That's like a big thing, both that me and my girlfriend love. That's like really like a comfort food to me. I love mashed potatoes, and you can make it with like soy milk, and even they make like vegan butters. So if you're eating like raw until dinner time, you can have that little bit of, you know, the vegan butter. It's, I think like Smart Balance or somebody makes it. You know, you don't need much to make, you know, we might make 5-10 pounds of potatoes when we make mashed potatoes, and we'll just have that like, you know, a mono cooked meal at night. But it's really good. But I think the one thing is, you know, just set your goals and work towards them, and you'll find that, you know, you'll really be able to do great things. Have a good day, guys. Goodbye.